It's the 24th of July, it's 2018, it's 3:22 in the afternoon, and it's a video about Loris Karius, and we're in pre-season, and Karius has had a few shockers on the tail end of his Champions League performance, where mistakes were made. That said, he was concussed, and yes, and it's been a crazy few months. That with the goalkeeping situation at Liverpool Football Club, they've signed a goalkeeper now, the world's most expensive goalkeeper, which is a real statement of intent. But where does that leave Loris Karius, who joined the club in 2016, was given the number 1 jersey, went kind of won his place as number 1 from Simon Mignolet, who I think at the time, I think he knew he was Jurgen Klopp didn't fancy him. And then there's justification in some of that, I guess, because Simon Mignolet's form really dips. He had some good performances, and I think, for the record, I think Simon Mignolet is a better goalkeeper than Karius, even back then. But that doesn't really matter anymore. So Karius has given his opportunity in 2016. He's come on. He's had a few performances, and I think already people are kind of establishing he doesn't look too confident, and he doesn't really have that presence of an elite goalkeeper. And the game against Bournemouth, Liverpool a few goals up, I think 3-1 up, and Karius has made a few mistakes, and that's contributed in Liverpool losing. And what was really strange after that incident, after that game, was that he was dropped. He was dropped, and he was being criticised, particularly by Gary Neville. And Karius fired some shots back in a newspaper interview with the Daily Mail on Sunday, and then it kind of embroiled into press conferences with Jurgen Klopp responding, talking about it. And I think throughout Karius' time at Liverpool, Jurgen Klopp's had his back 100%, which is really commendable. But at the same time, at what point do you be real and say, look, he hasn't got the ability to be a top level elite goalkeeper? And maybe that was said by actions, because they signed Alisson. Season 17-18, and he's established himself. I mean, I think there was a bit of rotation at the beginning, but then he cemented himself as the number 1. And to be fair, from where he was at 16-17, he looks a bit more confident. But I just could never get his actions when he was diving, going to the side of goal. He wouldn't fully stretch out his arms. His arms would be kind of half-heartedly kind of going for the ball. And that's quite a good way to point out what's going on with the coaching, goalkeeping coaching at Liverpool. And Simon Mignolet came in, and he was quite decent from Sunderland. And I personally think Simon Mignolet can go into another club and be a decent keeper. Definitely not an elite level keeper, decent keeper. But what's going on with the coaching? So Karius has come in. He's got he hasn't made the best of starts. Yes, his confidence is growing, but he's still making mistakes. And I think while his confidence was growing, I think he was protected by that Liverpool defence, which was bolstered by Virgil van Dijk. So I didn't really see him get tested too many times. He did make good saves, has to be said. Not real worldy saves on a consistent kind of time frame. He was consistently making these saves, and that's not no blame to him. That's just the defence is doing their job as well. What really sticks out even before the Champions League final was the quarter-final against Man City. He was failing to clear crosses, and the way he was clearing the ball, he was punching it off. He looked like he wasn't focused on what he was doing. It was like he was just winging it. And I think at that point everyone felt that there's no way, if Liverpool have ambitions of challenging the very best, they could have Karius as their number one. They need a new number one. So at that point, Alisson was kind of, name was floating around, and it has happened now. Okay, the Champions League final, it's been done to death, and let's be fair, he was suffering from concussion. He had an elbow to the head. I don't think that can be really ignored. What else can't be ignored was the mistakes prior to that and after that. And I think that's where the issue and the question is, what's next for Karius? Pre-season comes along, game against Tranmere, free kick, Bosch is straight at him, he spills it, they score. He's still, at what point, yes, you back and you support, and the motto for Liverpool Football Club is "You never walk alone," and that should be the ethos for every football club. But also, at what point do you realise and say, this guy is not, his ability is not at this level? Then there's a clip of him warming up, spills the ball, let the ball goes through his hand, slips through, and the game against Borussia Dortmund, he comes out of his box, clears it, goes straight to the opposite, and it's like this you have a full dossier of mistakes made by Karius in the few years he's been at Liverpool. It sounds unfair and it sounds harsh, but what's more harsh and what's more unfair is that you're putting a guy who's clearly not suited to this level, this moment of time, in a position that could actually break him completely. And there's an argument that he could come back stronger. Well, that argument was used in his first season at Liverpool when comparisons were made to David De Gea, who had an absolute, I won't say shocker, but he didn't look that great in his first season. And then it was the making of him. It was the making of him. It's 2 seasons on. I hope this is the making of Karius. But is it at Liverpool? Probably not. Is it wise for him to be a number 2? Probably not. I think unless there is there's that acceptance that he is just a number 2, he's a squad player, or he's going to have to drop down a few levels and work his way up again. And I say he's got to drop down a few levels because I look at Joe Hart and made a mistake, and he's made a mistake in 2016, and his form prior to that, just before the tour, wasn't great. New manager comes in, puts him on loan, goes abroad, comes back, goes alone again in the Premier League to West Ham. West Ham don't sign him, they don't fancy him, he's made more mistakes. And I'm thinking Joe's in a situation where if he doesn't go abroad, I don't think there's a Premier League club that would take him. Could be proven wrong. So when you got a situation with this Joe Hart, who a few years ago was one of the world's best. So what's next for Karius? Number 2, is that wise for him? Is that good for him? Is he going to really improve? Does he get run out of the cup competitions? Or does he move away? And I think that's probably the best thing for him if he wants to kind of bounce back and rejuvenate his goalkeeping career. And I think it's all good and well people supporting him, and rightly so, because some of the vile messages that he's receiving on Twitter and so on is unacceptable. But he needs to step away from the spotlight. Look, it's the 24th of July. Pre-seasons continue for Liverpool in America. They play Man City on the 25th. I think they play Manchester United on the 27th. Karius will be in goal. All eyes will be on Karius. It is pre-season, but people will be waiting for him to make a mistake. People will be expecting that he'll make a mistake. There's a lot of pressure on him now. He has a reputation for making mistakes, and that is not good. So what's next for him? Well, we'll find out. What do you think's next for Karius? What do you think Karius should do next? This is a foot soccer video. Hope you enjoy it. Please like, subscribe, comment, and thanks for listening.